Can you imagine being homeless in 50 degrees below zero? In today's world, there's a large problem that many people notice, but very few take action. Everyone has come across a homeless person at some point in their life, and they either decided whether they wanted to help them or say, I don't have any money, and walk away. I'm from Chicago, and when I went downtown, there seemed to be a homeless person every other block. And even here at Little Rock, a lot of the places that we go to a lot, such as the grocery stores, fast food restaurants, gas stations, there's usually somebody around there that is homeless and doesn't really have a place to stay. Today I will persuade you that homelessness in the United States is a problem. There are many different ways of helping this cause by donating, sharing, and volunteering. Homelessness in America has steadily been decreasing these past few years, but still too many people are out there living on the street. Almost 3% of the population is homeless in Chicago, making the city somewhat look bad, and over 500,000 people in the United States are homeless. And it's honestly affecting how America is portrayed to others, and since there's homeless people everywhere, you go, we all must come together and try to help it out and make it be a thing of the past. So what's broken is that there's over 500,000 people in the United States that don't have a place to stay. And in 2017, there were a total of 500,000 people. The majority of the homeless population lived in some form of shelter or in transitional housing. That was roughly 360,000 people. Approximately 34% lived in a place not meant for human habitation, such as the streets or abandoned buildings. And single individuals comprised of 66.7% in families, and that was roughly 185,000. And there's just too many unaccompanied youths in America, let alone Chicago. Throughout America, there's over 40,000 children and young adult that are homeless, and these are all from the state of homelessness. In the 2016 census, there was over a total of 11,000 kids that were unaccompanied, including 2,000 being just students in Chicago. And that was from chicagohomeless.org. The youth and the veterans share the least amount of homelessness, but in my eyes, there should be none. To my next point, how do we fix this? Having homeless people can affect how America is portrayed. We Americans can help this problem by helping them get back on their feet. We could encourage the adoption of programs like the one in Chicago and Fort Worth. There are programs that proposed budget for next year would include more than $1 million for a pilot program to support homelessness. Chicagoans living in encampments, as well as those transitioning into public housing. That's from Allenhens in 2018. A program called Clean Slate in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. It's ran by city officials and basically helps the homeless by paying them to help clean the streets, and it would honestly be a win for both parties. And that was from dallasnews.com in 2018. We should support programs like this because they are the ones that are trying to make a difference in the world. And having a lot of homeless people can affect taxpayers in a big city. So when passing homeless people, you have that guilt because that's another human being not having a place to stay. People feel obligated to help them out and give them money, but many people don't. Some people are just too afraid to associate with them, and because you never really know what their intentions are. My teammates and my other audience members can help the issue. We all have clothing that may not fit us anymore. We can all come together and donate to Goodwill. We could even give some jackets and blankets to people suffering on the streets when it's cold. And we could even give bottles of water um, when it's 90 plus outside, help them keep them hydrated. We could even give some books that we don't really use that are just sitting in our basement. That would honestly help homeless people. Like, it would keep them busy and help them pass some time. But on to my final point. Why will this work? There are homeless people everywhere you go, so if more people contribute to helping out, the quicker they can get back onto their feet. So next time you see someone struggling on the street, take some time out of your day and help them out, because if that were you out there, you'd want somebody to help you too. If more people can participate in things such as Hope House, I feel like the world would be a better place. This gives people a place to stay that are experiencing domestic violence. This might actually save somebody's life. You never know. There should be more drop-in centers where homeless can come in for some shelter and help them keep off the streets. If the wealthy can donate a small portion of their fortune, it would make a huge difference in the world as well. Permanent supporting houses will only benefit the homeless by helping them lay off the drug and alcohol abuse, which might be the reason that they're out there in the first place, but everybody's different. This would be very beneficial. There are also other ways to help in other than just giving them money. Many people have pets to keep them company, and a lot of veterinarians have been stepping up and giving them free tests and vaccinations. With some people, their pet might be the only type of family they have, so any way to help them, it's always a plus. There have been many programs that have been forming throughout the years. They have been donating leftover goods, foods, and such as the Good Neighbor program. There are many opportunities to help the hungry, such as stocking a food bank to serving hot breakfast. San Francisco Travel first came up with this idea to help aid others, and these are all examples from 4 CSR programs in 2018. So in conclusion, after going through all the facts of homelessness in America, you can see how big of an issue this is in today's society. Homelessness is a problem that more people should try to help, because it's not humane for people to be out there in such critical weather conditions. And there are different ways to help and limit homelessness by donating, volunteering, and sharing. Over 500,000 people are homeless here in America, and it's affecting them and everybody else. If we keep taking small steps forward to helping the homeless, then more and more people will soon have jobs and not be living in the streets. My call to action would be make an effort to help out the homeless when they approach you, rather than ignoring them, saying you have no money. Money is not the only way you can help, but you can donate, volunteer. All those things are very beneficial. The number of homelessness in America has been decreasing in recent years, but it's still a big enough problem where you can't just ignore it and think it'll fix itself.